Would you mind introducing yourself by stating your first and last name and spelling them for me, please?
Certainly. My name is Terese Tomanek. It rhymes with harmonic. It is spelled T-E-R-E-S-E. Last name is T-O-M, like Tom, A-N-E-K.
Wonderful. And the context is that you are the current president of the Duluth City Council.
I am. I'm the president of the City Council, honored to be that, and an at-large city councilor.
Wonderful. So my first question then is just why are you running to sit on the council once more?
It's been a real privilege to serve on the City Council for these past 5 years. And I have learned so much and developed the kind of relationships that one needs in order to get the city's work done. So I'm able to make those phone calls for our citizens who have concerns. I'm able to work cooperatively with our other councilors on the council to advance our city. And I think that experience is really important.
And what would kind of your priorities be for the city moving forward if you were to gain a seat?
Well, housing is always one of our biggest priorities, and we've had so much advancement in these past few years, especially with affordable housing. We had our $58 million of ARPA money, and $19 million of that went to affordable housing. Yesterday I was at Harbor Highlands with the completion of that project. Sky Ridge Flats had opened for seniors. We have Braveview coming up, and that will have childcare, 100 positions for childcare. So housing and childcare are incredibly important so that we can get people into our city for jobs, giving us economic growth to expand our economic base.
Would you say those are also the largest challenges the city faces in the next, say, 5 years, or would those be different?
We have a lot of challenges, even though we've made a lot of progress. Housing is a big one because finding starter homes, finding places where seniors can move so that we can open up that housing base, affordable housing, helping the unhoused find housing. Those are all challenges. Childcare, we've been working with the childcare providers to try and find affordable childcare for families so that we can have working people. The economic base, we need to expand that because commercial economics, commercial properties pay 3 times the amount of regular homeowner taxpayers, and we want to ease the burden on our homeowners so that we can all afford to live in this great city.
Thank you. I'm gonna just check my shot really quick. Awesome. Just I'm one person crew. I gotta make sure halfway through. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So my next question is one of those that might seem a little bit sillier, but it would be, what do you think of the vote last night on the Lester Park Golf Course land? Obviously, that was a unanimous vote that you then participated in. So would you just tell me kind of why you voted the way you did?
Lester Park is this unique property that has become available to the city. When I was first appointed to council 5 years ago, they had just decided to close the golf course, knowing that we couldn't maintain 2 municipal golf courses. Tim Meyer was asked by the mayor to lead a golf task force, and he did a really great job of opening that up to the public and bringing experts in. And he presented to the city 3 options, and that would be housing, continuing some form of golf, and outdoor recreation. Now we're going to have a land use study, and that will give us even more answers on what is the best use for that land. We also found last night that there is a lot of property that needs to be moved into parkland. So either way, we won't be losing parkland. We have an abundance of parkland, and we want to preserve it in a way that we can use and make it beneficial for everybody in the city.
So what would you sort of like to become of that property? What would be your priorities for that land?
I would really like to wait and see what the land use study is. I'm the kind of person that doesn't make a decision really quickly, but I like to do this studying, and I want to rely on the experts. What are they recommending? Because it'll be a blend probably of all those options, and we have to see what's the best.
And so just to make sure I'm understanding this right, your current answer for voting the way you did is because it sounds like the next step will allow you to learn even more about the land and what it would be best used for. Am I understanding that right?
That's correct. So my vote is not based on what I want. My vote is what's based on what does the community want and what is the best use of that land. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity to use that land for the benefit of the whole city. So I need to get that expert opinion from that land use study that thoroughly, talk to my fellow counselors, talk to my constituents, and then make my decision.
Thank you. This next one is, are there current counselors you like to think represent where you stand on majority of city-related issues? I guess current counselors besides yourself, that would be. Is there anybody else on the council currently that you kind of resonate with on issues?
You know, it's really interesting because we have 9 counselors and 9 different opinions on many issues. And you know, we talk about diversity and we really value diversity. We have a new human rights officer and diversity officer, but we have to remember that diversity of opinion is really, really important. And I have worked with every counselor on resolutions. It's important to hear everybody's opinion, but it's also important to value everybody's opinion. We're elected for a reason. We don't just have a mayor, we have a council of 9 people, and all of those opinions matter.
And is there anyone you find yourself aligning with on issues?
I think it depends on the issue. Sometimes if it's housing, I might vote with one counselor. When it was about the tax levy, I was voting with a counselor that is different in some of my political opinions. So it really varies on the issue. I don't vote by a strict party line or a strict guideline line. I find counselors that want to work on the same issues and again, to work towards the betterment of our city.
You definitely have an up-close look at kind of the current direction of City Council. Do you kind of approve of the current direction of City Council? Why or why not?
I think the City Council is handling some really important issues. Our biggest job is the budget, and we will be having a full-day budget retreat on Friday. So we look at that budget, we analyze it, we talk to all the departments, and then we make our decision on setting the max levy based on that. So that's really important. We also take into consideration all the neighborhoods in our city, and we're trying to make resolutions that help move along our city. We want to keep our public safe. We want our neighborhoods to grow. We want our libraries and our parks to be funded as fully as we can afford because people use those services. And that's what makes our city so great. Outdoor spaces, all of that is so important. We just have to figure out how to pay for it.
Thank you. And so your answer there would be kind of yes, and you're working through a lot of big challenges right now.
That's exactly right.
Wonderful. Is there anything else you wanted to share or do you want people to know about you and your campaign?
You know, people ask me if I enjoy working on the council. I find it really rewarding because I'm able to help people who have had some issue that they can't quite work through in the city. And I have those contacts I can call and say, can we just help move this along? And I find that very rewarding. Also working on those bigger issues that we talked about, housing, childcare, those are all really important to me. This is my home for the past how many years? I've been a homeowner, I've raised my kids here, I've participated in every outdoor sport. I went to college here, I had a business here. All of those opportunities I want to see other people have.